Hello and welcome back to our continuing No Place Like Home series, Last Look and Review. Yes, this is our final episode, and with where we left off, it was chapter 2, chapter 3, and I went ahead and continued playing the game off camera just to experience it, and I tell you what, I absolutely loved the game. The graphics to me are very appealing. The music, very relaxing. The animals are animated and they're funny. They jump around, they quack, they cluck. The cows will moo and all that fun stuff. And it's just a fun, relaxing game. And the storyline was pretty cool. Somebody comes back from Mars after leaving Earth and tries to help others reclaim the Earth and get it green and growing again. So, you have to kill some bad little robots and little insect robots, little crab robots. It was cute. The physics of the trash were just incredible. To watch trash roll down the hill because of gravity, it was great. And then, little hidden places that you could explore, the manholes, the hidden ladders, and all that other fun stuff. It was really enjoyable. I was having a blast. And then when we got to this area, and let me take you over there. Oh, and these lovely load-in screens. Yeah, they updated the game, and I went from pretty much literally 2-second load-in games to forever load-in times. It could be 15, 20 seconds before the game loads in. And on my computer, people say, well, just adjust your graphics. This computer is, I can tell you right now, it's not a hardware issue whatsoever. I can play a heck of a lot larger games, far more strenuous than this one, than have to deal with the load-in screens on this game. But we were searching for Napoleon the pig. We had to go rescue him and all that. It was a great little storyline, and then everything went south after that. I don't know if there was a management change in the development team or if there was a change in attitude with the studio, but everything basically went to hell after that. And you start seeing it compound the further and further you get into the game. And it's just like, I was so disappointed because when I was first introduced to this game, it was from a content creator, recommending it and all that. And it's abundantly clear they didn't have much time in the game. Plus, it was so new in early access. So it's just like, okay, no big deal. I'm not going to fault the content creator. But now, I cannot agree with that person whatsoever. Here, I was all excited to, have them become my friends and they're going to help me out. Well, the only thing they give me is strawberry seeds. Well, with how the game is set up, after you get 3 strawberry plants and you put them into a bird feeder for seeds, these guys become irrelevant. There's no point to them in the game after that. And these are the only convenient animal friends that you'll get. The rest of them that you'll get down the road in the game, they're off in far-flung areas of the map that you're not going to go back to ever again. There's no reason for it. So I started noticing all the shortcuts that the devs started to take. And it's just like, wait a minute. How does a game start out to be so fun and so relaxing and so detail-oriented, basically just turn into a grind fest of cut corners? it was so disappointing that it shocked me that here I could go from having such a great time into a game to pretty much loathing a game, where if I spent $20 on the game that it's selling for now, I'd be screaming bloody murder, because by the time you realize what the game devolves into, you're past your 4-hour refund time. And now for some people, they're going to absolutely love this game because they like the grind. And this game is it's all about grinding. That's all it is. Growing crops, which become pointless. Literally, the only thing you have to do in this game, once you open, is honey. I mean, that on the bottom left corner there, those jars, 6,664 of them, you use to help your skill unlocks. And your skill unlocks is from this gentleman named Rudy over here. And anytime you want to do a skill unlock, it requires so much food and a couple new crop items. That's it. So once you grow the crop once and you have the jars, it's no big deal after that. So it gets to a point to where the majority of these crops are pointless, because you can take honey and you can put them in the food preservers right here, like I did here, and I got 200 jars. So I have that, and then I could take the honey and put them and cook it here and get all the animal food that I need. So the only time you ever need to grow a crop is to get 4 or 5 plants to do a skill unlock, or maybe to help buy a new item. But other than that, it becomes pointless. And then you'll use the jars, because you can buy these materials in different parts of the map. So as long as you have honey going, everything else is pointless. Now, the animals. This really had confused me, because it's like you start out, you get the chickens and all that, and it's like, oh, right on, cool chickens. It's awesome. And then you need that duck egg to progress. So it's just like, okay, I'm waiting to unlock some type of housing for ducks. No, the devs shortcutted it. So the ducks and the chickens share the chicken coop. It says chicken coop, not duck coop. It has no reference to the duck staying in there in the game whatsoever. So I found out on the forums that, oh yeah, you got to have a chicken coop to do the ducks. And I'm like, okay, right on. So I decided, I built a second coop. So I'm like, okay, right on. And no, didn't help. Didn't get the ducks. And actually the ducks poofed. And it turned out it was a bug in the game. So I started the game all over. And they had already put in the patch and the fix so the ducks wouldn't poof. But I had to expand the chicken coop to get the ducks in there. And to me, it's like, okay, that's kind of pointless. So why did you shortcut that? Why couldn't you put a duck house in or something like that? Or at least, if you're going to come up where you can hit R and access the building, because these animal feeders will drive you absolutely insane. They only hold 10 feet. So you can maybe get 3 or 4 ducks that eat and chickens, and then it runs out of food and you have to manually feed them. So the automated buildings are literally pointless. They work for the water side. The water, they barely go through water, so you don't have to keep on giving them showers. So that's kind of nice. And that's if you can get it to fill up. You have to hit it just right before it'll fill up. But that that started getting annoying. And the pig pen, the pigsty, hey, strictly for pigs. No big deal. Doghouse for the doghouse. Cat house for the cat. But then when you try to get on some of these animals, their hitbox is weird. You have to get right on them. And like the raccoon, oh my God, you could spend 5 minutes trying to line up the raccoon to, it's working this time. And it depends on when you save the game. Because I could go to this raccoon tomorrow, or in the game time, and it could take forever to line it up and get it to turn green. Now, if you notice, the item is sitting on the ground. All the other animals, the item sucks up to you. But for some reason, you have to walk over for the raccoon. So you'll have those type of issues. Then here you have the cow house. And of course, it only holds 10 food. So a cow can eat 7. So if you go to, see, there's no food left. So it's just like, this is annoying. That one wanted a shower. And since I have water in there, it didn't ask for food. Same thing with this one. This one wants food, but since the food trough is empty, so you have to highlight the building, put 10 food in there because that's all it'll hold. And then you get to see how many animals. See, I'm on my 3rd animal and I'm already having to refill the food trough. They should allow you to put at least 100 in there or more. Put in, cap it off at like 500 or something. But no. So it's you're going to find a lot of quality of life issues in this game. The chests. You figure a developer that spends so much money on the physics of the trash that you'd be able to expand the chests or get better chests. Nope. This is it. You're going to be having chests all over this map. If not, trying to grow the crops, it becomes a pain. And yes, having the sprinklers is a godsend because that saves time. Oh God, I was so happy to get sprinklers. But like with cooking, you can only cook one single item at a time. Even though you can highlight, like ice cream, I could put in a whole stack of milk. I could put a whole stack of honey in there. But if I press cook, it'll only make one and it kicks all the other items back into my inventory instead of crafting up 5 of them. And because since milk only comes in stacks of 10, honey comes in stacks of 10, I'd only be able to legitimately make 5 of the recipe. But it won't let you do that. You have to do it one at a time. Huge grind fest. And to me, it's just like, that's why I went with honey. Honey was just the easiest thing to do. And look how many jars I have. 6,864. Now, you can get expanding inventory here, but the hotbar does not expand, which would have been nice. But that's not in there. And then the other thing that I loved was, you're going to be able to decorate your house. Well, these items, if you go up and I'll remove this. You hit yes. And then if I go to replace it, let me get one of these things off my hotbar and put this back in. For a game that started out so detail oriented, you can only move this in 90-degree implements. So if I wanted to place this diagonal on a corner, nope, not happening. No mouse wheel action where a lot of games where you can really fine tune your placement. Nope. And 0 clipping on this whatsoever. So if you have to deal with the game's design spacing. So that's kind of a bummer. And you run into a big issue with this when it comes to the bed. I tried placing nightstands, and the nightstand right here placed just fine, but then the other nightstand wouldn't. It literally was right here. It would not allow me to get it any closer. So they have huge issues when as far as that's concerned, as far as placing your furniture down. So then it gets to a point to where you really can't do much with it. And it got to a point to where if the crafting did work, where you craft up a bunch of furniture and you're like, okay, I'm ready to go place it all, and you hit escape to look at your toolbar, there's nothing there. It all just poofed. Now, they said it was bugged, but it's hit and miss. On some games it works, other games it doesn't. So it's just like, okay, this makes no sense to me whatsoever, but hey, what do I know? It is what it is. But that's the way that it goes. So that's just some of the quality of life issues. And then it comes down to your travel. The further you get out on the map, you literally spend a third of your time running. Even when you find the fast movement points, the fast travel, which they call it, it still takes forever to get around on the map. And until you find a fast travel point and unlock the other side, it's just, you want to just take a couple aspirin because it's giving you so much of a headache. They literally have taken so many shortcuts in this game, and I don't know why. This game should have been just perfect, but all it's turned into is basically a grinding game, just a waste of time. And here you see achievements. There's no achievements linked whatsoever to Steam, so that's kind of pointless. And some of these quests are tied to your crops, where they have one where you're supposed to deliver crops to the person, but they don't tell you which crops you have to deliver. They're just like, oh, we're categorizing everything, so just bring us all your planted crops. Well, you have to get all of these until you complete the quest out. And to me, it's like, okay, really? But it comes down to these stupid stamps. That's what this whole game is about, is collecting stamps. So you can make little miniature posters to put in your house. And to me, it's like, no. And this game has just turned into such a huge disappointment. And a lot of people are like, Larry, it's early access. Give them a break. Look, there's a lot of stuff in this game that it's basic game design 101. I mean, there's no reason for a game not to have the basics in it and the quality of life in it that's not in this game. I mean, when crops turn around and say that they need to be planted, can only be planted in a pot or in a greenhouse. Okay, that's a basic game design that they've implemented, but yet it's growing fine just here. And if somebody would have read the instructions and be like, oh, I can't grow these onions out in the field because they have to be planted in a greenhouse or a pot. If they would have waited for the greenhouse, oh my God, they would have been waiting forever. It's, I think, chapter 4, I do believe, is when you actually unlock plant pots from the architect. So there's a lot of crops. If you would have read the instructions, you would have never made it to them because you would have never been able to meet the progression standard and you wouldn't have been able to skill up. So it's just little things like that where it's core game. This isn't polish. This is core game. And there's no excuse for it. And it gets to a point to where I'm glad I only spent $10 on this game. They're asking $20 for it now. And since I played this thing all the way to the very end quest, I would be fit to be tied. I'd be like, I spent this money on this game for this? Now, if you're just buying this game for time sink, just for a waste of time with a heavy grind fest attached to it, then you're well suited for this game. It's perfect for you, and you'll get your $19.95 out of it. Now, people say, well, Larry, you spent $10, so you only spent 50% of what they're asking for. It's still not worth it. It's not what I signed up for. It's not what the game started out to be. It's what the game became. That it was just like, oh, what happened? It's just a head scratcher of what changed so much for them to take so many shortcuts in the game, to where, like even in the music, you get out in the desert and they're playing this Egyptian / India cobra dancing music in the desert, and it's just like, okay, I'm from the desert Southwest here in the United States, in Arizona. We're considered a desert. That type of music does not come to mind whatsoever. It gets to a point to where you're also, you're in one area and they're playing like Japanese Oriental music, and you're just like, what's going on here? The music just absolutely does not match up. And it's just like, it just seemed like they're just starting to just throw random stuff in the game. They got cheap rights to some music or something like that, and they're like, oh, let's just toss it in, instead of dealing with the quality of life issues. Or just, it seemed like they were shortcutting everything. In all the quests just became absolutely mundane and boring. And just like, okay. And then they have one quest where they want you to fill up these lakes. So here you're picturing lakes, and all there are holes. You would have never equated them out to lakes whatsoever. And that's in the final chapter. And it's just like, guys, what are you doing here? So, what's this game worth? What's it worth? Flat out. To the average gamer, if you are into survival or farming simulators or colony building or any type of the farming, game, pass on it. If it's free to play, awesome. If you find it on sale for Steam for like $1.99 and you just want a time sink, at most, and this is just pushing it, it's a $5 throwaway game. That's, you'll play it once, and the chances that you'll come back to this game are in the condition that it's in now. And I'm not saying improve the polish. I mean just the core basics of the game. It's a $5 throwaway game, and that's it. And the only place that this game will live will be in your Steam library, because you won't waste your hard drive space keeping this on your computer. So I know that's harsh. I like to see studios succeed. I love seeing games succeed. But if I would have bought this game at full retail price, I would have felt deceived. And especially if content creators are out there right now singing its praises because they're sponsored by the studio, I'd find that absolutely unacceptable. And I'd be screaming at Steam to give me my money back. So the first 4 hours, if you take it slow, are absolutely entertaining. Maybe if you're a fast game player, your first hour and a half is entertaining. And then after that, it's just cut corners, grind fast. That's it. And so, yeah. That is my absolutely dead honest opinion. And I've been gaming for... I've been gaming since the 70s, so yeah. And you just might be, well, Larry, you're too old to enjoy this. No, I'm a gamer. Jeez. I can play any genre of game. I mean, I played WoW for 10 years. You know, I've played so many MMORPGs, it's crazy. I mean, I have damn near every game console known to man. So, no, I take my gaming seriously. And I'd like I said, if this is free to play or you're feeling froggy, find it on sale for $1.99 up to $4.99 and you just want a time sink throwaway game, then this would be a title for you. This would be, yeah. But if you take any type of strategy game serious or anything like that, this game, you're going to be absolutely disappointed with it. So, because it starts out great, starts out phenomenal, and then it just tanks. So, I won't keep on beating this review to death. So, hopefully you will take heed, watch for it on sale, maybe watch some other people actually play the thing all the way through before you decide to buy it. And then just be buyer beware. So anyway, hopefully you found this helpful. And I'm Larry, and I will talk to you later. Bye.